Hello, before the episode, we just wanted to drop in and say we have merch finally available.
We're at tpublic.com. So if you'd like to check out all of our different merch that is continually being updated, you can go to trivialitypodcast.com, click merchandise, or go to tpublic.com and type in Triviality Podcast, or there's an even easier way, Ken.
Google it.
Google it.
Yeah, that's right. And we have our classic logo and some crazy stuff that Neal came up with, featuring some inside jokes from the show. So we hope you like the merch, and let us know your ideas as well.
Yep, and thank you all for your support, and we hope you enjoy our new merchandise.
On to the show.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where it turns out that Neal's back tattoo was Rosebud the whole time.
Rosebud.
And now he's dead. No, welcome to the show. This is our holiday episode, so welcome everybody. Are you all experiencing some holiday cheer right now?
Good tidings, cinnamon. I'm just trying to think of
Nutmeg?
Nutmeg, yeah. Smells of holidays.
Smells of sugar plums dancing through your heads. Dreidels.
Dreidels, yeah, dreidels.
All right, that's enough holiday stuff.
Yeah.
How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great. Just hung my stockings. I don't know what I'm doing.
Wait, did you hang your stopwatch?
Yeah, hanging my
You're not
stockings.
supposed to hang your stopwatch by the chimney with care.
That's the disgruntled youth basketball coach every holiday season, hanging his stopwatch. One day they'll get in
Bobby
under.
Knight's coming down my chimney.
And you know he's not doing it with care, let's be honest.
No.
Speaking of
He's
sports,
doing it with chair.
yeah, exactly. Speaking of sports, I know why Matt is excited. I just read that the 2024 Olympics are including breakdancing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, they added skateboarding, surfing, and then skateboarding apparently. Or I'm sorry, skateboarding, surfing, and breakdancing.
I thought
And
surfing was already
baseball back,
scheduled to
right?
be added for this year, isn't it?
Possibly.
2021.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, that'll be fun. Well, I don't know why we're so off topic, but we figured we would open our holiday gifts this year, and your gifts are question fives because we haven't had time to get to them. We want to have guest hosts as often as we can, make sure everybody gets that opportunity who wants it. So unfortunately, that means we haven't gotten to a lot of question five. So we're going to stick our arms down deep into the stocking and pull these out and see what we have. Sorry, that was so suggestive.
of like a calf birth.
Yeah, but we're going to birth these question fives, and we don't need the rules because we're throwing the rule book out the window today, right?
Yeah, everyone is on the nice list, so that means everyone gets a gift. And as Ken said, we have a lot of gifts that we want to share.
All right, well, I guess I will try to start this one off. All right, so here's the first question. This one's from Anne Gehring. Thank you very much for your submission, Anne. And she writes, in light of the beautiful honesty and vulnerability that Dax Shepard recently shared on day 7 of Armchair Experts, name one of the 2 founders of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Are they names that we would know, or are they just like you either know it or you
I
don't?
think if you know somebody who's been to AA, you probably have heard it. Because I think I know one of them.
All right, Jeff?
I've heard the name Bill Wilson floated for people I know who've been to AA. Okay. So.
Yeah, that's more than I know. I just know it's been around a long time and helps a lot of people. So I'm going to have to tap on this one, unfortunately.
All right, well, Jeff gets a candy cane. Bill Wilson is one of the 2 people, and the other is Dr. Bob Smith. So congrats.
The most generic name possible. You probably could have guessed it.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But good work, everybody who's going through the program, and keep at it. We believe in you. All right, next question. This is a sports question. So thanks for the submission, Tim Gomez. I struggle with these. Following his rookie season, what outspoken wide receiver vented his frustrations in the 1997 autobiography, Just Give Me the Damn Ball?
Oh,
wow.
I know this one.
Oh, do you? It sounds like
Matthew.
It sounds like every receiver. I mean, that's in their DNA. They want the ball.
He was drafted number 1 overall by the Orlando Breakers in a season something of Coach.
Oh, really? With Craig T. Nelson?
Yep. It was when he became a pro coach, he drafted this player.
Oh,
All right. Matt, sounds like you're the only one who can pull this one.
Yeah, I have
This
no
is
idea.
a Matt question right here. So
It's Keyshawn Johnson.
Matt is correct. And Tim Gomez writes, in addition, following a disappointing 1-15 season, which the Bears are trying to meet this year, even though they've already exceeded it, Johnson skewered quarterback Neal O'Donnell and fellow wide receiver Wade Sherbet. Is that right?
Crabette.
Calling the former a stiff puppet and the latter a team mascot. I'm not the puppet, you're the puppet.
Yeah, I think at one point he called him. He said that he was a spotlight and Wayne Crabette was a flashlight or something along those lines. He was not very happy with this other receiver.
He was really into these metaphors, though.
Yeah.
All right, so the next question, this one comes from Stephen Gilman. Thank you for your submission. The signature on the only presidential letter of resignation in U.S. history is Richard Nixon's. Whose initials are on it? This is a really cool presidential history question. I really like it.
To talk it out a little bit, I mean, Nixon's era.
Who would he have tendered his resignation to?
Exactly.
Would he have immediately tendered it to Ford, who was the vice president, or?
Well, speaking of the West Wing, we were talking about it before recording. All I'm thinking of now is when Bartlett signs the 25th and hands it over to John Goodman, playing Speaker of the House, Walken, not Christopher Walken. But I know during Nixon's presidency, wasn't Kissinger a big voice in the room? Like that was like his most powerful, I guess. I don't know.
He did not become president, though.
That is true.
But one could tender their resignation to that person.
I guess so. Does it matter who you give your resignation to, or
I don't know who
you
you're
would
supposed
give
to
it to someone of the opposite party, I would assume.
Well, in this case, the Secretary of State seemed to have accepted the resignation, and that is Henry Kissinger.
Oh,
So you're on the right track.
all right.
So I'll give you orange in your stocking for St. Nick's.
All right, thank you.
Did you get your orange this year?
I didn't get an orange. I got a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's the worst fruit.
It's the best fruit.
I don't like Reese's.
Actually, in my St. Nick's sock, I got a bag of Intelligentsia coffee.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Very nice. All right.
Somebody who knows you.
St. Nick. He's basically in my business all year.
What?
That's why he's a saint. He's
All right.
Yeah.
You know who else is a saint? St. Patrick McGee. Patrick McGee. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
He has a tribon for us. Not a movie tribon. Sorry, Neal.
Okay.
What word can be a military rank, a member of a 70s musical group, and an early home computer?
So
Probably
military.
one of the village people, right?
It's possible. I mean, I'm just thinking of military ranks just to keep it simple. You got private, lieutenant, colonel,
Construction worker.
construction worker. Captain, like captain and Neal.
Oh, Captain Neal. Yeah.
Was there a captain?
You're missing the home computer.
What about so we had the Apple II, that's not anything.
Yeah.
Um
Okay. So let's see. Maybe we should go old school because I mean, captain, lieutenant, colonel, and all that stuff. Is there an older type of military?
Think about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates of the Caribbean. 70s musical group. What was the name of that group that it was like a boy band? Lionel Richie was in it.
so I think this was the Commodore.
That's it. That's
like
it.
Commodore 64 or
There
something
you
like
go,
that.
guys. Got it. The Commodore. Thank you again, Patrick McGee, for that great question. Okay. So now we're going to move on to a question from Scott Walker. The question is, Sagar, Obvara, and Raku are alternative methods of finishing what craft? Sorry, I kind of butchered that one. Sagar, Obvara, and Raku are alternative methods of finishing what craft?
Well, I do have a Raku in the living room, but I pronounce it Roku.
It's Japanese for 6.
Roku is 6, yeah.
Finishing what craft?
Oh, finishing.
Basket weaving? I don't. How
It's
do you
like the
finish
last
a basket
step
weave?
of the process, I guess.
Finishing a crochet.
What about-
Asking additional questions to me is in vain. You have to address your questions to Scott Walker.
Well, unfortunately, Scott is not with us right now.
Is
So.
some sort of art, maybe? A finishing process, or like
a painting?
Like a painting, or maybe like building a table, or like...
You're on the right track.
I think I know
kind
enough
of.
about building tables to
What
know about Raku.
So to help Jeff with this question, maybe Neal can kind of stand behind him.
We can have our own ghost moment, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pottery?
That's right.
There you go.
Pottery.
Ken was trying to throw us for a loop.
All right. So we're going to move on. This one's from Lucas McGraw. And the category, he's happy to tell us, is video games.
One that we all enjoy here.
Yes. And the question is, Juno star Elliot Page went into the video game industry when he portrayed Jodie Holmes in what 2013 interactive story game released exclusively on PlayStation in 2013?
I played the remaster last year, I think.
Yeah.
Did you?
This one I did not love.
Yeah, there was a part that I couldn't beat, so I gave up. It was really, really hard.
But I liked very much the game that the company released prior to this game.
I'm not too certain. It sounds like Matt knows it. I the only storyline game I can think of was one my brother played called like Heavy Rain, but I don't know.
So Heavy Rain is the one before this one.
Oh, okay.
So you're on the right track. So you'll know because your brother always says, "Do what you can, Jody," in Willem Dafoe's voice.
Oh.
So this is the game he's referring to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Jeff?
I'm not familiar with this one. I do know Heavy Rain, but...
Okay, Matt, what is it?
This one's The Last of Us, right?
No, that character just
what is
looks
it?
like Elliot Page. But the game in question is Beyond Two Souls.
Oh.
Beyond Two Souls.
Right.
So I know The Last of Us actually is getting a lot of press now because Craig Mazin, who did Chernobyl, he's writing the film adaptation of The Last of Us.
I'm actually looking forward to that one. A lot of these video game movies don't come out so great, but...
Yeah, like Max Payne. For when I saw that in the theater with my brother.
That
was rough. Mark
Wait, because
Wahlberg.
now I
That's one with
remember
Wahlberg, yeah.
Elliot Page was going to file a lawsuit saying that they were using his likeness for the game, right? Didn't something like that happen?
Yeah, I think that might have happened or something like that.
Because it was clearly modeled after that person.
Yes, yes.
Interesting.
All right, moving on to the next question here. This is from Scott Moffat. He gave me a couple sports questions here, so let me just let's do this. Let's do this one because this is a sports question I think non-sports people can get. According to legend, what Hall of Fame third baseman once drank 70 beers on a cross-country flight?
There is an episode of It's Always Sunny that references this very thing, so I happen to know it.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
If Matt, do you know this one? Can you give me a hint? Maybe I can figure it out.
I don't know this one.
Jeff, can you give any hints?
It's a very swampy last name.
Oh God. Let me ask you this then.
Shrek.
Does he have a huge mustache?
He does have a huge mustache.
Okay, I'm going to go with Wade Boggs.
Yes, it is Wade Boggs.
Yes, you guys are right.
Wade Boggs looks like what a video game baseball player should look like.
I guess evidently he drank 70 beers and then pitched the game. Like, didn't even bat an eye. No pun intended.
It's amazing because he doesn't pitch.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, you're thinking of the New York Yankees pitcher that was out all night with Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
And I can't remember his name
That
right
was
now.
David Wells.
David Wells.
David Wells, yeah.
Okay, so here's my last submission. This one's from Peter Wen. I'm going to flip it a little bit, so I'm not going to give it exactly as written. So he gave me a question about Shawshank Redemption and the author of the original source material, which we all know, Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to change the question a little bit. What famous person is in the original title of Stephen King's story
I know this one.
that goes blank and the Shawshank Redemption?
I know this one because the movie references this person in a very famous cinematic scene. So I
Does
will
it?
refrain.
I don't know this one. I do love the Shawshank
Have you
Redemption.
seen the film?
Yes, several times. It's a really good one.
Okay, so
One of my-
what celebrity is referenced in this movie? Nothing?
No.
Okay. Neal?
So Andy Dufresne and his cell has several different posters throughout, to show his progression as he's, chiseling out of jail.
Yeah.
So it's not Raquel Welch, who is the one, Attack of the Fifth Woman, I believe, that the warden rips off. It's not Marilyn Monroe, but it's Rita Hayworth, who, if you remember in the scene when they're watching the movie, him and Red are watching, and she does the famous sort of hair flip from Gilda.
Yeah.
And that's what they're watching, yeah.
Yes, Rita Hayworth. And thank you, Peter, for that question. And thank you all for the questions. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them, but I tried to be as fair as I could with selecting these questions.
No, yeah, thank you, Ken, and thank you for everyone who wrote Ken some questions. I can go next. I have some, but before we do that, just wanted to let everyone know how excited we are that our store is open. We're over at TeePublic. They're hosting all of our merchandise. What's really nice about TeePublic is we can continually add some new merchandise, whether it's T-shirts or mugs or notebooks, pillows, masks, all that good stuff, and we can keep adding new designs. But we have, I think, maybe 13, 14 different designs there. And they're just some real fun items that you can buy. And Matt, actually, we've sold a lot of them, and I know you're a little cross about some of the things that have been sold.
No, it's just, it's just a little upsetting. Still haven't sold very many Matt items. Ken's in the same boat, it seems like. Jeff's a popular guy.
I choose to believe that the design is better on the Jeff shirt.
I
like all the designs, but I choose to believe that that's the cause.
No, I choose to believe that people are doing it to lovingly poke fun at me, and I'm all for that.
Well, that's obvious.
Yeah.
I took a little,
and maybe not lovingly, but you know what? A sale's a sale.
Matt came up with a great idea that I did a design for, which is taken a little bit from Jeff's book, and I did the never-ending Neal story, which obviously is referencing the never-ending story, but I took a note from Jeff's book, which is a little bit of a downer, and I put Artax the horse drowning in the mud on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he comes back at the end.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
Everybody always talks about the horse dying in never-ending story.
He's only in it for like 8 seconds.
Like 8 seconds.
Yeah. You know what's funny? They had
this is Artax the horse, and then he's gone.
I love he's only in it for like 8 seconds, like you said, but they had to train him for months and months just to be okay with getting submerged in mud.
Well, he did not look okay.
He did not.
I'm sure that horse was traumatized.
If you ever want to find something really interesting about filmmaking, look and research about how they train horses, because like a movie like Last Samurai that had hundreds of horses, each horse was trained for months to do one thing, whether it was fall down, pretend to die, flip, and that's all they do.
What about accidentally kick a man in the crotch?
Oh, that
happens too.
That can be done easily.
Because that happened on accident, and that was from a cutscene.
Yeah.
But speaking of TeePublic, feel free to go to trivialitypodcast.com, click on merchandise, or you can just go to TeePublic, type in Triviality Podcasts. And if you have any ideas for designs, send them in. Maybe we can make them happen. And if you even want to, give us a design, or maybe we can have some sort of drive where everyone kind of submits a design, and we'll pick maybe the audience voted one, and we'll put it on a shirt or something.
The Dutch Boy is great, by the way. Good work on that, Neal.
Thank you.
Isn't TeePublic that musician that uses auto-tune a lot?
I think so, but I think his grittier stuff is after he got hit in the head a bunch of times because he was a little in pain. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Who's next?
All right, I'll go next. Thank you, everyone, for sending in your questions. I also had a good amount, too, so I tried to pull the ones that I haven't used on a game before, and we'll see what happens here. So the first one is coming to us from Tim Gomez. Thank you, Tim. Found in the title of the official song of the U.S. Navy, what nautical term is defined as raised just clear of the bottom, used of an anchor? So what nautical term is defined as raised just clear of the bottom, used of an anchor?
Okay, I think I know the title of the song. So the only other word in the title of the song besides anchor is away.
That makes sense. I buy that.
Jeff agrees. Matt, you agree?
Yes, I guess.
Okay.
Matt disagrees.
He disagrees, but it doesn't matter because away is correct. Tim tells us both a Navy lieutenant and a bandmaster at the time, Charles A. Zimmerman, composed Anchors Away in 1906.
Okay.
So I added the "ought" because I think it sounds cooler when you say old dates like that.
It does sound cool.
Mm-hmm.
So the next name, speaking of '06, this name sounds great. If I wrote a movie character, this would be a great 1900s movie character name. This is from Thomas Tolliver. What a great, if you own some sort of shop in the 1900s or your family did, please let me know because I think it's amazing.
I'm down to Tolliver's haberdashery.
Yeah, see, it totally makes sense.
Yeah. Sorry.
We got some brand new denim in, everyone, from Mr. Levi.
Sent all the way from the Americas.
Mr. Tolliver, we apologize, but we also appreciate your name. So the question is, and this is a sports one actually, and let's see if Matt knows it. If not, we'll see if the other boys do. Who is the last NBA player to win back-to-back-to-back, or 3 in a row, regular season MVP awards? And I do have a hint, but I think the hint will give it away. So who is the last person to win back-to-back-to-back regular season MVP awards?
I'm out.
All right, Ken is out. Matt, why don't you talk this one out a little? Do you have any ideas?
I mean, I don't think it was Shaq. I feel like it should have been Shaq. But if I don't know if he won 99, 2000, and 2001.
Well, in
but that would be
2001, he was kind of phoning it in because he was doing genie movies, right?
Yeah.
That was before. Yeah.
Plus his career after that was a little icy and a little hot, if you know what I mean.
Sadly, I always know what you mean.
Yeah, is it Shaq or no?
It is not Shaq. I will give you a hint, Matt, and let's see if you can figure it out. Let's see. How about... actually, I'll go with Mr. Tolliver's his clue here. He did this whole MVP season reassuring people that white men can't jump. And he had a great mustache.
Wade Boggs.
No, was it Larry Bird?
It was
No, right?
Lawrence Bird.
Larry Legend?
Larry Bird. Yep, Larry Bird. If you ever get a chance, look up some of his trash talking. I had no idea how big of a trash talker he was. But
as Bill Murray says in Space Jam, Matt's favorite movie, Larry Bird isn't white, Larry's clear.
I love that Matt hates the Space Jam stuff, but we're just going to keep mentioning it now until the LeBron James one is released. We're going to go from Larry Clear to Crystal Clear because the next question comes to us from Crystal Throckmorton. All right, the title of this question is Gather Around, Let's Play. I do want to preface that Crystal gave us some extra information in the email, which was really great. And we don't have a lot of questions about Oklahoma, so I'm just going to preface this by saying that the answer has to do with... No, just the state, okay. Oklahoma. And here's the question. In September 2018, Phase 1 of the largest privately funded public park opened along the banks of the Arkansas River. Philanthropist George Kaiser spearheaded this $465 million project. Not only did he primarily fund the park, he has set aside resources to upkeep the park for 99 years, which is pretty crazy. Of the numerous awards received, this beautiful place on Riverside Drive recently received an international award from the Urban Landscape Institute's Global Award of Excellence. Can you name this park?
No.
What do I know about Riverside Drive? Doc Brown lived on Riverside Drive in Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Don't know
I
if
have
that
no
helps.
idea. I'm sorry. But I do know that Mr. Kaiser funded the entire park with Kaiser rolls.
He had one Kaiser roll stand for $5 a piece, and he fundraised $465 million.
And then as soon as everyone figured out his name, he was gone.
Yeah, he was a saint, like Saint Nick. So the answer is Gathering Place, or also known as The Gathering Place.
Kaiser's Gathering Place.
Yeah, it should be Kaiser's Gathering Place. You're right. Throw the name on there.
Sorry, nobody caught your Kaiser Sose.
That's fine.
Well, it was so smooth that we didn't notice what he did because he was under the radar.
Yeah. All right, Jeff's gonna fix his limp on the way out of the door today.
Just don't break any coffee mugs on the floor here in the studio. All right, the next question is coming to us from Stephen Gilman. Thank you very much for the question. This one is a little bit more fun, a little more movie related. I think you guys will be able to get this. The Will Ferrell movie Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby, opens with a title card that misattributes the following quote to what historical person? And the quote is, America is all about speed. Hot, nasty, badass speed.
I'm going to say Abraham Lincoln.
Okay.
Just as a guess.
That was going to be my guess, too.
That's really funny. I like it. I don't know if it's right. I've never seen the movie, sadly, but...
Or you know what? It would be a good FDR one.
Yeah, you're right, because of the wheelchair. Yeah.
He souped it up.
Thank you for explaining that.
What Ken is saying, though, is of the 272 words that the Gettysburg Address contained and changed the course of American history, some of them were hot, nasty, badass speed.
I think so.
Okay.
I think
It's-
he
That's
said
what
we
was
were.
going on 7 years ago.
I think Abe Lincoln said we're going to defeat the Confederacy with hot, nasty speed.
That is very presidential. It is not Abraham Lincoln. I will say, though, it was someone involved in the White House in some capacity.
That narrows it down.
Yes.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
It is Eleanor Roosevelt.
Is it?
It is.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh.
The next question comes to us from Kaplan Adcox. So thank you, Kaplan. Another great name. All these names are great for these question fives. Thank you, everyone. All right.
Thank you, everyone, for your great names.
Thank you for having names that are great.
I mean, we already said we love Thomas Tolliver, Tolliver's haberdashery, and in walks Kaplan Adcox really wanting that denim.
Let's not forget Crystal Throckmorton.
Crystal Throckmorton's a great name as well. That'd be
All
a great
these names are great.
Crystal,
You're
you
right.
should.
You're right.
Aren't they?
I'm sorry for criticizing you for calling out the great names because they're all great.
I love them. Yeah. I mean, Crystal, that'd be a great name for office. Crystal Throckmorton for Senate or something. Okay. So Kaplan Adcox. Sure, they collaborated with Elton John in Save Rock and Roll, but what band performed a cover of Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting for the deluxe edition of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road?
No, I have no idea, actually.
You have no
What was
idea.
the first part of the question? I missed it.
It was, sure, they collaborated with Elton John in Save Rock and Roll.
Was it Fall Out Boy?
It is one of our favorites. It is Fall Out Boy.
No way.
Yeah. Goodbye
Save,
Yellow Brick
Save Rock and
Road.
Roll is a good album.
Is that a Fall Out Boy album?
Yeah, it has the Phoenix on it.
Oh, yes. Okay. You know what? I feel bad. I love Fall Out Boy, but I kind of stopped listening to all the albums after Fully Ado. So,
You're
which,
missing out.
After they started to suck worse.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I was telling Colleen the other day, Maroon 5 was on, and I used to listen to Maroon 5 in college quite a bit, like their first album. But after they were, I forget the name of the band with the flowers, but Casey's Flowers or something. So I used to listen to that album all the time. And then their drummer, I think, had some sort of condition. He couldn't drum anymore. They did their next album that was a little bit more pop. And then right after that, it was just all top 100 Billboard pop music. All right. So we got 3 more questions here. The first of the last 3 from Michael Newman. The ridges of a chef's hat or toque represent what?
I know this one.
Go for it, Jeff.
I believe there is 100 of them for the 100 different ways to prepare an egg.
That is correct. Number of the ways to cook an egg. And what was the thing from
And I know 2 of them.
Ren and Stimpy, wasn't it? I used to say that when I was in grammar school, and I got in trouble. It was
I
like,
could teach your grandma to suck eggs.
that's it, right? Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, go tell your
I'll
grandma
teach you to be happy.
happy, joy. Yeah, classic. Another one here from Michael Newman, actually, since Jeff got that so quickly. Which U.S. state is geographically closest to Africa?
I can lock that in too.
Oh, all right. What is it, Jeff?
Maine.
It is Maine.
Yeah, weirdly. You would think it's Florida, but it's not.
And
I don't know how to
Because
describe
the
it.
globe curves.
Because of round in
Yes.
this.
Specifically, it is a peninsula called Quoddy Head, and there's a lighthouse.
Off the coast of Maine, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Penultimate question here from Jared Seal. What familial sounding component of many electronics, including computers, is the home of many of its important subsystems?
Is that the motherboard?
That is the motherboard. Who sings that song?
Mother.
Yeah, who is that?
Danzig.
Danzig. Okay.
Wolf
All right.
Mother.
No, I don't think it was about a motherboard, though.
It wasn't?
I don't think so.
He wasn't like a computer guy. All right. So the last question, before I say the last question, I do want to mention, we mentioned Will Ferrell earlier. If you guys haven't seen the documentary series, The Movies That Made Us, there's a holiday version of it on Netflix now, and it's all about the making of Elf, which is very fascinating. So if you like the movie Elf, which we do, or at least I do, and Colleen does, that it's a good little documentary, sponsored by The Movies That Made Us. Last question from...
Not really.
Not really. Last question from Kelly Hines. What is the only animal in the world that produces cube-shaped poop?
That would be Jeff.
That's Jeff. That's
No,
correct.
I know this one, actually.
Ken knows it.
It's like the Japanese watermelons. I grow it in boxes. So
Ew.
I don't even know what that means.
Do you know it?
I'm trying to remember. I know I've heard this fact.
You know what,
before.
Matt?
No, like Jeff, I know I've heard it, but I can't remember.
This would be Liverpool Rockers, the Wombats.
It is the Wombats, yeah. Yeah, so thank you, everyone, for your questions on my end. We appreciate it.
Yes, Ken is a real coprophile, so thank you.
What is a coprophile? Like someone who likes Frank Capra movies?
Someone who likes poop.
Oh,
Why? Why would you say that?
Because I know what the word is.
I know one fact about poop. Suddenly I'm a sicko.
well, I mean, you can find out a lot of things about poop.
Ken, you've been a sicko long before that.
That's true.
Apparently, you find out a lot about yourself if you dig into your poop, scientifically speaking.
Why
This is not what the show's
the
about, you
second
guys.
or
We need
third
to get
time
away
we're
from
talking
it.
about poop.
All right, we don't want to talk about coal in our stockings. So let's throw
Now
it to
we're the
Matt.
number 2 trivia show.
Yeah,
Damn
exactly.
it.
For a reason.
So what's in your Christmas bag over there, Matt?
Ooh, I'm next. All right. This is the Ernest Safe Christmas sack. I'm just going to reach into here really quick. This question is from Jackie Lefebvre. I apologize for that pronunciation, but you have a lot of
Do you think it's
consonants
Lafarge?
next to consonants.
I will give you a 10 for sticking that landing. So
All right. So, everybody surely remembers the wonderful game Hungry Hungry Hippos. There were 4 hippopotamuses in the original version of the game: Lizzie, Henry, Homer, and Harry. A later edition of the game replaces the purple hippo, Lizzie, with a pink one named Happy. The objective of the game is for each player to collect as many marbles as possible with their hippo. How many marbles were included in this game?
Ooh,
okay. How long do you think a game of Hungry Hungry Hippos lasts?
Like
10 seconds.
Yeah, 10, 15 seconds.
Okay, and how many would you end up with?
I think it's 40 balls.
How many hippos are there?
4.
4. So you'd have to think it would be at least 10 per hippo. Yeah. So 40.
Wouldn't you want to
40
make
ball.
it an odd number so there could be no tie?
Okay, yeah, 45.
Yeah, I like 45.
Ooh, close, but you're way off. It's actually 21.
That's
There
it.
are
Oh.
19 red marbles and 2 yellow marbles.
Oh,
I was thinking 45
that-
would be a pretty gridlocked board.
As a kid, it felt like there was a million.
yeah. It's sad because I have not played Hungry Hungry Hippos for quite a while, nor have I played Rock'em Sock'em Robots for quite a while, and that's sad.
You know what I haven't played in a long time? Crossfire.
Are you talking about the political show?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that like a
You
board
get caught
game?
up in them.
No, Crossfire. It was like you would fire
Crossfire.
steel balls across the thing at each other. I don't think we
Yeah,
ever
it
played
had the
game.
greatest commercial of all time. It had the 2 kids in like Dante's Inferno, like shooting it out. It was amazing.
Oh.
Exactly.
You'll get caught up in the crossfire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Yep.
How could you forget it?
After that performance,
That was another game that did not come. It came with like 15 marbles, so the game was over after like 3 seconds. It was not very fun, to be honest.
No, we would just shoot it across the table at each other.
I used to love Guess Who. I don't know why I just thought of it, but
It was fun.
yeah, I just love the sound it made when the game was over and you had to close everyone's flap.
It was a big year for Guess Who. All the characters made their way to all the baseball stadiums.
Yeah, that's a happy ending.
Yeah. All right. So this next question is also from Tim Gomez, who gave us lots of gifts this year. So I guess we were good. So the question is, known for an accessory commonly seen sported by actor Samuel L. Jackson, what British-based clothing company got its name from combining parts of 3 fashion-related words into one: knitting, angora, and wool?
I know this one for sure.
I'm talking about a hat here, right?
It is definitely a hat.
Yeah.
I don't know about this hat.
No.
You don't know?
Enlighten me.
Let's just say it is not made from the most popular animal of Australia. We want to quell any rumors.
So no,
It's
no
used in the
kangaroo.
new Olympic sport breakdancing. I
Yeah,
believe.
exactly. No kangaroos have been harmed in making these hats. Kangle.
The answer is Kangol. Neal, did you ever own a Kangol hat? I imagine you did.
I didn't own a Kangle hat, but I did go to the
Thank goodness
doctor.
for that.
I went to the doctor for some abdomen pain, and he prescribed me to do some Kangles.
I thought Neal was going to go the opposite way. and be
Strengthening
like,
your pelvic floor.
Can anyone really own a Kangol? Like,
I've never actually seen a Kangle in the wild, like in person. I mean, on anyone. It's only in movies and TV. Has anyone ever seen someone wear a Kangle?
Not since 2000.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Matt.
Kangol hat. I bought one for an 80s party once. Neal, I think you were at this party at the one house I rented out in
Oh, I was there. I was
suburban
there.
Chicago.
Yeah.
He
I
lied.
dressed up as a breakdancer, and I was able to find a Kangol hat at Marshall's for $5.
All right.
I do remember that
if
part.
the
that
mighty
isn't the
have
bargain.
fallen.
We can move on to my next question. which is from Stephen Gilman, who's also provided a lot of questions for this.
Yes.
So his question is, what 2001 film has cameo appearances by Lenny Kravitz, Natalie Portman, Donald Trump, and David Bowie, as well as James Marsden appearing for literally 3 seconds as John Wilkes Booth?
Man, this sounds really familiar. I can't place it, though.
Well, if it has that many people, it's got to be...
It's like a bonkers comedy.
Yeah,
really.
it's got to be like an Austin Powers type movie with a lot of
2001.
cameos, right?
John Wilkes Booth.
It also has breakdancing, much like the last question.
Oh, Zoolander has a lot of cameos, doesn't it?
Ooh.
It does.
That could be it.
That's about the right year.
Don't they have a breakdance fight?
Natalie Portman.
They have a freak gasoline fight incident.
Yeah, let's say Zoolander.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, the answer is Zoolander.
Ooh.
How does John Wilkes Booth
Derelict.
come into it? Do you know?
I believe it had something where he was a model who was trained to kill Abraham Lincoln, would be my guess. I don't remember
Oh.
exactly.
Because they're talking. That's with not Mustafa. That's Will Ferrell's character in Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah. It's very painful.
Yeah.
I can't remember his villain name in that. Do you?
I can't either. I know Derelict, like you said, but
Or Blue Steel.
yeah.
This question comes from Patrick McGee. Thank you, Patrick. This is a sports question. Tied at 5 losses each, what 2 NFL teams have lost the most Super Bowl games?
I think I definitely know one.
I always feel like I want to pick on the Bills.
I was just going to say,
Well,
yes.
they had 4 losses in a row, right?
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
if they lost one other time, that would be 5.
It'd have to be the Bills because, yeah, it would have to be the Bills as one. Name 2 of them. Lost 5 times.
Oh, Patriots.
I know they lost against the Bears. Yep, they lost against the Giants twice. They lost against the Eagles 4. Yeah, it's definitely the Patriots then too.
Sports.
So the Patriots are correct, but it's not the Bills. The Bills just have those 4. The other one is actually the Broncos.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Elway took them a ton of times.
The Denver Broncos.
That's right. And then Manning lost the 1 year too. Okay.
All right, and this final question comes from Tamara O'Brien, who's always giving us a ton of questions in the crop. So we always appreciate that. And if you guys are listening and
rock.
aren't part of the crop, we suggest you come on down to Facebook and join up. So this question is, according to U.S. birth records from 1994 to 2014, which month has the highest overall average births?
I think it's my birth month of December. It seems like everybody's born in December.
What would be the conception date there?
Valentine's, maybe?
No, that would be March.
March? Spring fever, possibly. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I would say. So, what would be the birth of Valentine's Day? It would be November.
Yes.
Okay,
I always thought the summer had the most births, but I don't know why.
that's Christmas.
Because people
time.
are inside and there's nothing much to do. And
We know
Well-
how babies are made, okay?
Yeah, we've all had a little eggnog here. It's the holidays. I mean, things happen. So, what would the birth month be if it was tonight?
it would be
What
September.
if babies were being made during this podcast?
It would be September. So Ken says November. Jeff is thinking.
Well, I say December.
Oh, you say December. So Jeff's thinking
Due
November.
to my own bias.
No, I was thinking it was like June or July, but that might also be my own bias.
I'll go with Ken. I'll say November as well.
I say December.
Or December. Sorry. It's all the eggnog.
Well, that's okay. You're both wrong, and the answer is September.
Oh, so it
So
is
it's-
Christmas.
It's those holiday babies.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's all those guys that went to Jared would be my assumption. Well, that is all the questions that I have. So I'm going to pass the Christmas baton over to Jeff.
Jeff's he's pulling up his questions now, but Matt, I know you sent us an excited text the other day about just how wonderful everyone has been with the show as far as listening is concerned, sharing, and all that kind of stuff.
This year, our downloads are up 25% over last year. So that's an entire Triviality member more if you do it. I think that's how the math checks out. But definitely, we appreciate you guys telling your friends and however you found the show. Feel free to comment on how you guys came across the show because we definitely have a lot more listeners than we did last year. So thanks to everybody.
Yeah, and we've weathered the pandemic quite nicely, and we're surprised and delighted.
Yeah, we
saw it. We saw an initial drop when the pandemic happened because we know a lot of people don't have commutes, but either you're finding other ways to make some time for us or you're back to work like some of us in Triviality.
Well,
Not
yeah,
all of us.
and we've been receiving a lot of great emails about, I found the show this way, I just started listening, or I'm started at the beginning of the catalog, which is great. And another thing, speaking of our amazing patrons on Patreon, we actually passed 350 Patreon members, so pretty nuts that we've gotten past that point. And if you'd like to join them, you can go to patreon.com/Triviality Podcast to support the show if you'd like, for some extra audio content and some other great perks.
All right. So my first question comes courtesy of Tim Gomez. Thanks, Tim. According to the 1988 Earworm, personal favorite of mine, What I Am, Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians claim that what discipline is the talk on the cereal box? It's a walk on the slippery rocks.
I don't know this at all.
Yeah.
Tim also kindly provides me with a correction that I should have made earlier on the show, in which I falsely claimed that Edie Brickell is married to someone who's not Paul Simon. She's been married to Paul Simon since 1992. So thanks, Tim.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I don't know that song.
I don't either.
So what's the actual question? What rocks your socks on the cereal box?
So they say that this discipline is the talk on the cereal box. And I can tell you that I paid
Doing
a lot
mazes?
I paid a lot of money for it, if that helps you.
Crossword?
No.
Karate.
Oh,
What discipline did Jeff pay a lot
Magic
of money
the Gathering.
That's not bad, except this came out in 1988, which would be before
for?
Magic the Gathering.
Discipline.
This discipline's very old. Thousands of years.
Education.
More specifically, my education.
Philosophy.
Philosophy is the talk on a cereal box.
oh,
It's a very weird song that stuck with me for some reason as a kid. It's just one of those
Okay.
weird one-hit wonders. But
Hmm.
now she's making...
Tim Gomez liked it.
I know. Thanks, Tim. That was a very Jeff question. So, all right. Next question, courtesy of Ann Gehring. Thanks again, Ann. Incorrectly called by his Roman name, Hercules, in a Disney film, what was the Greek name for the child of Zeus and Alcmene, who strangled snakes as a baby, completed 12 labors, and married Megara?
Well, I know Jeff also strangled snakes as a baby, but that's a separate story. I don't know what that's about, but I know this one.
oh, you do. Matt, do you know this one?
I don't think so. Is it? I know Zeus has got kids. Was Cronus one of them?
So we're
Is that
just
it?
looking for... So Hercules is the Roman name. So what's Hercules' Greek name?
I thought Hercules is often confused with Heracles, and I don't know if Heracles would be the Greek version of Hercules, but maybe I'm thinking of two different people.
I think you're thinking of one person.
That is right? Okay.
No, I think you're thinking the correct answer because it is Heracles.
Okay.
So Zeus's wife Hera was upset at her husband's infidelity. So his Greek name Heracles literally means glory of Hera.
So I have a very
So he
important...
named his cheat baby after his wife.
Oh,
It's not a classy move.
It's a bold move, though.
it's
It's a Zeus move.
It's very, very bold. Very important question here, though. In the Greek translation of The Nutty Professor, does Eddie Murphy scream Heracles, Heracles, Heracles?
Oh my God.
It's all Greek to me.
All right. My next question is courtesy of Andrew Hansen. Thanks, Andrew. According to the book, The Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien, how many elves were at Helm's Deep?
Neal?
And this is a Neal question if I've ever heard it.
All right, so I don't know the answer off the top of my head, but as a triviatician, my logic would lead me towards the answer of, since it is the holidays, all of the elves are helping make the presents, so I would think it would be 0. Maybe it's a trick question.
Well, Legolas is definitely there. He's an elf.
So that's
He is
one.
an elf. He is an elf. Is he still married to Katy Perry?
Were they
I
married?
don't think so.
Oh,
Were they married?
I don't know. I heard they got Elvish in the back of a West Hollywood club.
Dirty man.
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, Matt was there. I have no
Can't
idea.
think
What
Yeah, I don't know. So
what is Helm's Deep?
Helm's Deep is a fortress in
And the name
kingdom
of a battle.
Rohan.
Is it like the
How deep
wall or
is it?
something, or
It's fairly deep.
fairly deep?
So
Okay.
you think you could fit a lot of elves in there?
You could cram a bunch of elves.
I would say several
basically,
furloughs worth.
basically a battalion of elves shows up at the last minute to save everybody's ass as usual.
No, they're
Usually
mostly
it's
Fit
the Eagles,
two
but
elves
this
per
time it's
one
the elves.
regular person.
so they're the reinforcements. Is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't
mean,
remember there being a lot of them.
Let's say 200. I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of elves, but I'll believe it. It's a war scene. Peter Jackson. I'll go 200, sure.
The
201.
answer is 500.
500.
I was
Without going
closer.
over.
Got
it. So Matt was closest without going over, so he wins today's Price is Triviality.
I will
He
say
wins the skull of an elf.
I get to play Plinko now.
Lord of the Rings,
Mountain Climber.
they just released a 4K version that people are going nuts for. I belong to a Facebook group that my friend added me without me knowing, of 4K enthusiasts.
Neil, I think it's time.
Well, no, that's the thing I was going to say is everyone is saying how unbelievable the 4K discs for Lord of the Rings look. So I think it might be the perfect time after the new year to finally watch them, but in 4K.
Let's do a movie exchange, Neil. You can show me something, and I'll show you mine.
Have you ever heard of Have you ever heard of the movie called Because that's coming in 4K as well.
No, nobody needs to see that in 4K.
Oh, no.
I'll do a share and watch with you. Then we'll swap.
Okay.
All right, next question. Stephen Gilman provided me a few, so thank you, Stephen. There's an obligatory Neil Spielberg question in here.
Nielsberg.
The old Nielsberg. I'm like the iceberg of the Titanic. I just give you enough, but then once you get near me, it's just a lot more than you bargained for.
So
It's just the tip of the Nielsberg.
pretty I'm looking for two movies. The first is where Sam Neill's character's dying words are, "I would have liked to have seen Montana." And the second is where the character first appears in Montana.
Okay. All right. So first appearing in Montana is when he tries to pretend slice a kid's stomach with a raptor claw, which would be Jurassic Park, I would think.
Okay. I would have liked to see Montana. Sounds really, really familiar to me. I think it's a movie I just watched like maybe a month or two ago.
I hope so.
I might be confusing it with Peaky Blinders because I've been watching that too. So I can't pull it. What is it?
I would have liked to see Montana. If you say it with a Russian accent.
What is it? I'm still lost.
Well, I know you haven't seen it recently.
No, I
because of your
have.
hatred for boat movies. It's The Hunt for Red October.
Oh,
yeah, that's right.
It's Captain Vasily Borodin.
I did watch that this year.
Did you really?
Yeah, with the boys
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
before pandemic.
That's a young Sam.
Pre-pandemic.
That's a young Sam Neill in there.
All right. Second question from Steven is a video game question, one of our favorites.
Okay.
The Mario Universe character Waluigi. I was waiting for Ken to go, "Wop, that." I knew someone would. Thank you, Matt. Has what capital Greek letter on his hat?
Heracles.
I believe that is an L upside down, so it's a lambda. No,
You're right. It is an L upside down.
lambda is the Half-Life symbol.
That is also correct.
Oh,
What's the L upside down?
the L upside down is...
You're into Greek life.
Yeah, I was for a little bit.
Figured you guys could work together on this.
Let me think. So across the street from me was Gamma Phi Beta sorority from my dorm, and I think it might be. Let me think. Gamma Phi. Phi is no. Beta. It's not Gamma. You said right? It might be Gamma.
Yeah. All right, we'll say gamma.
And the correct answer is Gamma.
All right.
Well done, Neil.
I'm just glad that it was right outside my window for the years I was at that dorm because it actually helped for a question in the future.
I've got two more questions that we'll do. First one is from Keandre Burrell, so thank you. The question here is, B. Arthur, before starring in the hit Golden Girls, also starred in her own TV show, Maude. That show was a spin-off of what family show whose song is sampled on a famous cartoon?
All in the Family?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, because that's Family Guy's the spoof of that.
I was going to say because I think that might be one of the shows that has the most spin-offs because it was All in the Family and then you had the Jeffersons.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the Jeffersons, you had a bunch of other shows as well. So yeah, that makes sense. All in the Family.
That's our guess.
And you guys are correct. It is All in the Family.
Nice.
Norman Lear, I think, was a producer or something on that.
I think so. And
I know he was involved in that.
Yeah, and I think Good Times is one of those shows as well. It's a spin-off factory.
Yes, for sure.
And Jefferson's, right?
The Jeffersons, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question is from Tristan Billings. Thank you, Tristan. I thought we'd bring it home with a very, happy holiday question. It's about the Godfather.
Really, Jeff? You?
It's about the Godfather. A movie I still haven't seen.
You come to me on the day of the holiday podcast trying to ask a question about the Godfather.
Yes, I am going to ask a Godfather question. So during the famous baptism by fire scene in The Godfather, Michael Corleone arranges that the 4 other heads of the major crime families be killed. Can you give me the name of one of the crime bosses killed first and last, and the assassin that killed them? So I'm looking for any one of the 4 pairings.
Okay. I'm putting my fingers together in the Italian way to try to get some energy going.
I'm trying to do my old Al Pacino, but it's not gonna help the young Michael Corleone. How about Sonny?
Before he lost his GD mind.
I think one of them might be Luca Brazzi because he sleeps with the fishes.
Okay.
So Luca Brazzi. Wouldn't you consider? Oh, wait, maybe Michael shoots someone in the head. Is that one of the killing technically, or was that a cop that he shot?
No, that's not from the scene though.
No, it's not the scene. What he's talking about is the montage.
Let's go with Luca Brazzi. We only need one.
Okay, Luca Brazzi.
All right. Your correct answers are Victor Strachey,
Okay.
who was done in by Peter Clemenza.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have Carmine.
Could you please put your fingers together?
Of course.
Read these.
Of course I will. There we go. I know this really adds to the gusto. So we have Carmine Cuneo, killed by Willie Cici.
That sounds right.
Cici.
Mhm.
Philip Tattaglia, killed by Rocco Lamponi.
Oh, great name.
And Emilio Barzini, killed by Al Neri.
Okay. So we
didn't get Luca
we
Brazzi.
botched it.
Yeah.
You whiffed.
Maybe Luca Brazzi was one of his guys that got killed.
That's possible.
I can't remember. It's a great movie. I haven't
Who's
seen
a
it.
Vagoda?
He's in everything. I don't know. He's an uncle probably. He's always an uncle.
Okay. Well, that'll conclude the game for today. I guess it was a game, right?
Yeah, it was more informal. It's sort of like a white elephant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who won?
Everybody did.
Hopefully our
listener,
listeners.
yeah.
Not the listeners, that's for sure.
Matt, I guess, it is the end of the year. It's almost the new year, going into 2021 and Old Lang Syne and all that, etc. Any words for the end of the year for the listeners?
No, just, anxiously waiting this vaccine and hopefully getting back to living life at some point.
Yeah, sounds good. And for the end of the year, I just really quick, I want to do some superlatives for you guys, like a yearbook.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah.
All right. So for Neal, I want to be most likely to succeed.
Oh, thank you.
This was a hard year for everybody.
Yeah.
You powered through. You're still powering through. You're working hard.
Trying.
You got juggling a lot of balls right now.
I am.
You're going to keep pushing until you make it.
Yeah, that's the goal. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try. I have some cool things to announce coming up pretty soon, which I'll announce on the show at some point that I think...
that was really nice and serious.
Thank you.
I also would like
Jeff?
to throw in best dressed for Neal.
All right,
but
best dressed too.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Oh,
Jeff,
thank you.
This sounds bad, but most improved.
I'll take it.
It's not that you started at a low point, but this year you got new job, promotion.
That's right.
You're in a great relationship.
Yep.
Good job, Jeff.
My life has gotten decent.
You're doing it.
And-
And Matt, of course, has best hair
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's grown his hair
Matthew.
back.
Most improved hair.
I would like to throw this out there real quick, but no matter what hairstyle you're rocking, Ken, bald is beautiful. Just want to say.
I like my bald head.
But if you're a man who wants his hair, Matthew is the inspiration story of 2020 because he is the comeback kid of hair growth right now, and I'm loving it. So keep those Instagram posts up because I'm very, very happy to see your new style.
No, Matt, that was a little less serious, but seriously, great job starting your new life in LA and working hard every day.
Yeah, I got a bedroom this year. Really exciting stuff.
All right, that'll do it for the show.
No, whoa. We don't have any superlatives for Ken. What is this, guys?
All right, that'll do it for the show. I want to thank everybody for listening, and thanks a lot for your support over this year. It's meant a lot, and we're gonna keep at it as long as we can, and we'll all weather this tough year together. So thank you all for listening. For Neal, Jeff, Matt, and myself, that was Triviality.
We
And then you were
covered
like-
This Love in one of the 4 songs we could play in our cover band.
Yeah, Vinny
Barbarino's Dream Machine.
Dream Machine. Yeah, it was I Am My Own Worst Enemy by Lit. It was Buddy Holly, This Love, and didn't we do Foxy Lady by
Yes, Foxy Lady.
And Jerry was a race car driver by Primus.
By Primus.
That's all I think of when I hear Primus, just the bass.
It's really funny about that is I think this joke has more of an audience than your band ever did.
Yes.
You know what's funny is, it does have more. And I bet if we even tried to do a show now, even with this audience that we have now, which is wonderful, no one would come.
I would definitely.
I would definitely show up. Oh yeah.